Hi everyone, it's James here from Occult Audio, and today I'm here to walk you through GÆSTEN, our new standalone instrument. Now, if you've already downloaded and used our free instrument Obscura, you'll probably be familiar with the philosophy behind it. But this is Obscura's big brother, deeper, darker, and designed to be a complete tool for scoring, whether that be horror, tension, cinematic, and atmospheric music. I'm going to take you through the interface, show you how the two engines work, and give you some ideas of how you might want to use this in your music and projects. Let's dive in. Okay, so at the heart of the layout are two samplers. Sampler 1 on the left, sampler 2 on the right. So what we'll do, we'll just look at a sampler at a time. So I've got sampler 1 turned on at the minute and it's loaded with starter. So let's just hear that to start with. So there you go. We've got a nice kind of evolving drone, and this is the first sound that loads when you open the instrument for the first time. So the top of each sampler, we've got an audio waveform window, which allows you to change the starts, stops, finishes of what you're sampling. So instead of playing the whole way through the sample now, it's just going to play this specific part that I've chosen. So I'm getting a different kind of evolution of the sound there. As well as that feature on the audio waveform box, below we've got on off, and we've got a reverse button which will now reverse the playback of the sample. So again, that really opens this up to loads of possibilities. You could highlight different areas, flip, reverse, all to give you something new and different. So working our way down the sampler, we've then got our sample drop down menu. And let's just have a look at a few of the different sounds that are in here. Let's look at just some of the process sounds for now. Adjust transmission. Nice, like that one. Let's have all sub. Definitely a subby sub. Definitely some low frequencies in there. And let's have one more for now. Let's have disturbed. So that just gives you a very quick flavour of the 100 processed kind of sources that you've got in there. So moving down the sampler again, just below our drop down box, we've got our attack, decay, sustain, release, and they do exactly what the sound's in. For this sampler, they adjust the attack, decay, sustain, and release of the sample. Then we've got a gain knob and a pan. So having this gain knob here allows you to control the level of gain that is coming from sampler 1. Okay, defaultly on load, it's set to 0, but you can change it. That'll come into play later when we talk about the blend feature in the middle. Panning, again, it allows you to decide where do I want to position, sampler 1 in the stereo field, and, sampler 2's got the same thing. Then we've got some effects that are built into sampler 1. We've got our low pass filter. Which is conveniently already set to be nice and open for when you first start trying to play sounds. We've got our high pass filter. So we can kind of use them together to sculpt sounds. And then last but not least, we've got a saturate function. To cause maximum distortion should we so wish. And that is essentially replicated on each sampler. So let's bring in now sampler 2 and turn off sampler 1. On sampler 2 at the minute, we've got one of the kind of organic textures that features. So we've got a bowed acoustic guitar here. So I'm going to use my features. I'm going to pan this a little bit to the right. I'm going to pan sampler 1 a little bit to the left and turn sampler 1 on. What's this sound like reversed? Well, I quite like that. Let's have that reversed then. We'll leave sampler 1 as it is. Okay. Let's make this a tiny bit quieter, set the gain of that one up a little bit more. Now, the feature I want to talk about here is the blend feature. So at the minute we've got both samplers working together. We've set our gains, we've set our pans, we've done everything that we maybe want to do with effects at the minute. Let's put a bit of saturation on there. Let's hear what it sounds like. So the idea now is you can use the blend function to move between those two sounds. And, you know, I guess the classic case use for this is we've all dealt with it when we're underscoring on projects and, you know, we've got something happening over time and we want to we might not put something very minimal in, not doing too much, some sort of drone. This allows you, not only are the source samples evolving and quite long and you can do a lot to make them feel like they're evolving in each sampler, but this blend button gives us possibilities to do that as well. Now, let's have a quick dive into the effects. So we've got something set up that we like. We've got a kind of blend working that we like. Let's say it's there. We've got reverb, oscillate, and delay. So let's have a quick look at the reverb. We've got some impulse responses that we've made that are pre-programmed in for you. I've got it on tunnel at the minute. That's one of my favorite. And you've got an on-off function. You've got a dry level and a wet level and a pre-delay here. So you just need to set it to what you need. Now, the usage for that is I don't know about anyone else, quite often I'll find if I've got a weird sound that I really like, I will go run it through a reverb and just have absolutely it 100% wet with no dry signal. So by having the wet and the dry signal there, it gives you that possibility to do that. So for now, I'm going to leave the dry signal on. I'm going to slowly turn the wet signal up so you can hear the reverb working. I stopped playing a little while ago, so it's nice and sploshy. Likewise, again, if I turn the dry level down and I keep the wet level up, we can play around and do all that. So we've got 17 different ones there for you to play around with and experiment with. I think it's always useful just to have a nice reverb in something so you haven't necessarily got to go reach for something else. We'll jump over to the delay very quickly. You've got on-off, you've got a tempo sync feature here as well. You've got left and right times and then an overall mix. Play around with it, set it exactly how you do it. Again, adds new thoughts and kind of evolving feelings to it. Then the last feature, which I really like, is the oscillate feature. Again, we've got an on-off, we've got a tempo sync, we've got a frequency control that we'll talk about in a minute, and we've got a drop-down menu. So for the minute, I'm just going to put it onto sine. So what this will do, it's attached to an LFO. So what's going to happen is it's now going to run through our volume through that sine wave, and our frequency will allow us to change the speed. So we create quite a nice bassy throbbing pulse. So we've got sine, triangle, saw, square, which will be very harsh, random, which will be random. And then what I like about this most is you've got a custom one. So you can see when I turn it on custom, my playback cursor on that is kind of moving at the speed of my frequency, and I can program in now what I want to have. I'm making this very extreme so you can hear the differences. We'll do one that's less extreme in a minute. But now if I play, and I think all you need to do is right click on these and they'll revert away so you can clear them. What I would say the use case for this is, particularly if you're running it at slower speeds, is, you know, if you want it to evolve and feel like it's evolving over time, you can add in and have these kind of dips and troughs and actually kind of have a bit of shape. It's not massive, but it's there, it's adding, it's impacting with what we're doing. So the final feature we've got that I think is a really useful feature on the UI itself is the preset browser. So when you go in, as you can see, starting point will reset, and it will reset for you whatever you've put it to. When you load a preset, it will bring up all of the parameters to exactly what you've set. And the beauty of this is, in this left column, you can add categories. So you've made a really nice bass, let's say. We can add bass as a category now. And if we're happy with what we've made, we can add that preset. So nice bass, click OK, and nice bass is now stored. Now, likewise, we can favorite it to say, actually, that's one of my favorite ones. I've got loads now, but that's one of my favorite ones. I use it a lot. So we can add it to the favorites menu. And when we click the star at the top, it will only display our favorites in the box. The other feature that we've got is a search feature to allow us to search for parameters as well. And it's been future-proof. So you can see there's more function here. We'll let you, as we release more presets for it, and if you create nice presets that you want to share with other people, you can export them or import them likewise, and that will appear and disappear at the touch of a button, allowing you to keep any really cool sounds that you've made in your library forever. So the final thing I should say that we've been able to do, and we've tested this in Logic, in Cubase, and in Ableton, is all of the parameters for each of these sample engines and the effects and the blend knob. You can automate them via your DAW. So you can choose to add them as automations, and you can control them all via your DAW through the kind of automation lanes or however it works in your DAW. But we've also left the ability to give them CC numbers and control them with CC as well. So if you right click on any feature, you can either learn MIDI CC or assign a MIDI CC number to it should you so wish. That way you can choose exactly how you want to work, but you've got real control over all of these parameters to really manipulate them over time and create something really, really, really unique and original. Well, look, that's a really super fast look at GÄSTEN. It's built to be instantly usable, but also endlessly malleable. A machine for tension, fear, cinematic and atmospheric sounds. Whether you're scoring for film, games, or creating experimental sound design, it gives you a whole set of tools that let you conjure unease and other emotions at will. Thanks for watching. GÄSTEN's available now as a standalone VST AU plugin for both Mac and Windows, and I can't wait to hear what you create with it. If you've enjoyed this video, do consider dropping us a like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.